Assume that adults have IQ scores that are normally distributed with a mean of 103.9 and a standard deviation of 23. Find the probability that a randomly selected adult has an IQ greater than 139.4, and then hint it says to draw a graph. So we're going to go ahead and sketch the bell curve, which is the graph that they're referring to. So we first want to draw the graph and then label it according to the information it's given. Okay, so we know that the mean is given to be 103.9. Okay, we also know that the standard deviation that's given is 23. And then in the question it says, find the probability that a randomly selected adult excuse me, has an IQ greater than 139.4. Well, 139.4 is to the right of 103.9, so we're going to write this as x, which is equal to 139.4. Okay, and then what we want to do is it says to find the probability that it's greater than, which means we're shading everything to the right here. So this is the area that we want, or the probability that we're looking for. Okay, so now we want to find the z-score that's associated with that value of 139.9. Excuse me, 139.4. Let me go ahead and change that here to make sure that represents the correct number. So we have 139.4. Okay, so now we know that x equals 139.4. We know that the mean is given to be 103.9, and we know that the standard deviation is 23. So now we're going to use our z-score formula to find the z-score, and we know that the z-score is equal to x minus the mean over the standard deviation. So x is 139.4 minus the mean of 103.9, and then we're dividing that by 23. And then we're going to round that to 2 decimal places. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 139.4 minus 103.9. And then we're going to divide that by 23. And rounding it to 2 decimal places gives us a z-score of 1.54. Okay, now let's go ahead and then label our graph using the standard normal distribution. So we know that the mean is going to be equal to 0, and now the z-score for the x value is equal to 1.54. So in the last part, we want to find out what is the probability where the z-score is going to be greater than or equal to 1.54. So we're going to go ahead and use StatCrunch to determine that. So let's go ahead and open up StatCrunch. Okay, and so the first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and select Stat, go to Calculators, and scroll down to Normal. Okay, and we know that our mean is 0 and our standard deviation is 1. We want to find the area to the right, so we need to change our inequality symbol to be greater than or equal to, and then the z-score is 1.54, which should resemble our graph. And now the probability should be rounded to 4 decimal places, so that's going to be 0.0618. So 0.0618. And then if we wanted to convert that to a percent, it'd be 6.18% by multiplying it by 100%. But we're only concerned with the decimal value. So in the problem it says round it to 4 decimal places, and again we got the result to be 0.0618, 0.0618, and there is our probability.